Also one of the best teams this sport's ever seen. Today, Ditka's Bears are of the blue-collar variety. The refrigerator is a force on defense only. But while these may be the back-to-the-basics, no-nonsense Bears, they're still fueled by Mike Ditka's legendary fire. Field in Chicago, sold out as usual on a dark, damp, rather foggy day, but not that cold as the Cowboys come to Chicago to play the Chicago Bears. I am Pat Summerall here with John Madden. The Dallas Cowboys perhaps come in as the hottest team in pro football. They've won 5 in a row. How do they react to the playoffs?
Well, you know, one thing, that's hot being in the regular season, and I think that once you get into the playoffs, you have to step everything up one more step, and that's a big step, and these guys don't have a lot of experience here, but I think they have to get off to a good start. We know that Steve Berline is starting at quarterback. Troy Aikman is okay, but it's going to be on Berline's shoulder. Now, I think the best friend of a quarterback, I've always said, is a good running game, and the Cowboys have that in Emmitt Smith. If they are going to move the ball on the ground, this is a guy that's going to do it. Then I think to loosen that up for them, they have to hit those underneath passes. The way to hit those underneath passes is to their tight end, Jay Novacek. And then, as Jimmy Johnson says, we got to take some shots deep, and the guy they're going to go deep to is Michael Irvin.
John, what about the Bears? They come off a very disappointing, devastating loss to the 49ers last Monday night at Candlestick. Will that have a lasting effect?
I don't know. I think we're going to find out. I think we're going to find out quickly. As Mike Ditka said the other day, he says, there's only 2 things we can do. He said we can either roll over and play dead or we can bounce back. Spending yesterday with the Bears, I think they're going to bounce back. But I know the matchup that they have to win, their defense has to play a lot better than they did Monday night. If they are going to be successful today, their defense has to play a big, big part of it. Well, the Bears will have the first crack. As they have won the toss, the temperature is 35 degrees. The wind northwest 10 miles an hour. Cloudy and damp. And there is some question mark, I think, in everybody's mind about the condition of the field, which in between the hash marks is very, very suspect. Well, I'll tell you, it looks like grass down there, but we know that's just dirt painted green. Gentry and Lewis back deep for Willis kickoff, which is short. It's going to be Darren Lewis at about the 9. And the Dallas cover teams do a good job, as they have been for a long time. Jim Harbaugh out with the flu on Friday. Back at practice yesterday, didn't work out. We'll have this offensive line in front of him. Wojciechowski, the left tackle, Bortz, Hilgenberg, Tom Thayer, Keith Van Horn, and the tight end will be Keith Jennings. The 2 runners, Anderson and Muster, and the wide receivers, Davis and Waddle. Harbaugh has become the catalyst of the Bear offensive unit. And with those 2 runners behind him, Anderson and Muster, very comfortable. That's Anderson on the move. Cowboys showing blitz, and they come quickly after Harbaugh. Incomplete. Intended for Keith Jennings. Ken Norton applied the heat. Tolbert, Casillas, Russell Maryland, and Jim Jeffcoat up front for Dallas. The linebackers, Del Rio in the middle, Smith and Ken Norton on the outside. In the secondary, Holt and Brown, the cornerbacks. Brown, the rookie. Ray Horton and James Washington, the safety men. 2nd and 10. Bears operating from their own 21. James Thornton in the game for Jennings now. That's Waddle in motion. Harbaugh to Anderson. Perhaps a yard. Russell Maryland led the defensive charge. Just watch this. They know that they're going to take the runaway by putting the safety up. You see 7 in the box. and then you see the safety up there, number 24. That gives them an 8th man up. So what they're going to do is gang up with a safety or corner on that run against the Bears.
Brings up a 3rd and 8 for the Bears from their own 23. Harbaugh operating this time out of the spread formation. Juggled it momentarily, gets it outside quickly to Waddle. First down, Bears. A gain of 12.
This Tom Waddle is really some guy. Number 87, a guy who was cut 3 times by the Bears already. Throughout the season, he has developed into Harbaugh's go-to guy. You say, who's the go-to guy? Well, it's a guy when you get 3rd down and you need to complete a pass, you throw it to him, and that's Tom Waddle.
It's amazing when you talk to the guy. He says, my feet are too small, my hands are too small, my legs are not big enough. I'm slow, but I get open.
Well, the one thing that he can do is catch the ball, too. And wherever you throw it, even in practice, the guy never misses it.
And he's tough. The Harbaugh back to throw on first down. Davis. It's a catch. And a gain of 9. Isaac Holt, the defender.
Well, you know, one thing, you expect the Bears to be a running team and come out running. They're doing just the opposite. They've only run the ball 1 time. Every other play has been a pass. Of course, that's Isaac Holt there, who's the starting left corner for the Cowboys and probably their best defensive back, or at least their best corner. And if he can't play, that is really going to hurt this team.
Gant would take his place if he can't get back up.
Jimmy Johnson was saying last night that in the draft, he wants to get some more defensive backs. You can see what happened there. He hit the guy that was holding the marker. You see the guy lets the marker go. See the guy in the yellow hood there? He jumps over the player and runs right into the guy that was standing there with the marker.
Normally, you don't get hurt by a pedestrian.
Wendell Davis was there and on the ground caught the ball. He jumped right over Wendell Davis, hit that guy, but he looks like he's okay because it came back in.
Well, the guy he hit looks okay, depending upon your standards, I guess. 2nd and 1. That's Muster. First down, Bears out to the 48. Tony Tolbert made the stop.
Yeah, Harbaugh looks pretty sharp here too early.
He does.
Mixed in, good mixture. He was in the hospital the other day, practiced Thursday, went home Thursday night, got sick, came back Friday. They just put him right in the hospital. He said he had a 106-degree temperature.
That's up there.
Yeah, then it went down to 103, and then he said it was 101. And he said yesterday, he said he finally got down to 99, and he felt real good.
1st and 10 Bears at their own 48. The opening drive of this wild card game. Cowboys jump offside. Casillas was too early.
The ball carrier. There are flags on the flag.
Dick Hantack, the referee.
To see an official wear glasses. At least they admit it.
Yeah.
You knew before, man, they can't be that old and none of them wear glasses.
Defense, 5-yard penalty. Repeat the down. First down.
Yeah, it's nice. And he's the guy that threw it. So you know one thing, if you're going to throw it, you better see it. If you better see it, you better have your glasses on. Yeah, but there were years that officials never wore glasses.
And wouldn't admit that they wore contacts even.
Yeah, but even think before they had contacts. I mean, there were always a bunch of blind guys out there, and I knew it.
That's your opinion, and you're sticking to it.
I'm sticking to it. Instant replay or no.
Here's Harbaugh back to throw it. Jim Jeffcoat got the hand on it. It was intended for Neil Anderson.
Incomplete. Hit away.
That's usually what happens when you block a guy too well. Look at all the time Harbaugh has. He has too much time. Wojciechowski was doing a heck of a job of blocking Jeffcoat. He didn't even get off the line. So then you had another defender. Harbaugh should have just sat back there and held it and tried to find something open deep. Jeffcoat made that play because he didn't get into a good pass rush.
2nd and 5. Buster and Anderson behind Harbaugh. Now he starts Anderson in motion. And back to throw. Casillas chased him out of the pocket. Harbaugh got rid of it to Muster. Maybe they got 2 yards. Jeffcoat put the heat on that time.
I think Jeffcoat got the sack. Here's Jeffcoat here. He's going to come around here. I think he got the sack.
Yes, he
before
did.
Harbaugh gets rid of it. Watch him. He's working on Wojciechowski. See, he just gets a good push right there. He gets the sack. The ball was blown dead right at that point, so it's going to be spotted there, and a sack for Jeffcoat.
He was on his knees when he threw it.
So the play before, Jeffcoat didn't get off the line, bats the ball down. Then the next play, he makes the pass rush and the sack.
Give credit to Casillas also for forcing Harbaugh to go forward. Harbaugh chased out of the pocket again, and down he goes. Ball is loose. He might have been down, however. No, it's Dallas ball. I'm sure they'll take another look at it. Tony Hill made the recovery.
I think Tony Hill, you watch, Harbaugh is going to get hit. You see, he's looking to his right, can't find anyone, starts to run, and he gets hit from behind right there. You see, he gets hit and the ball's knocked out, and then Tony Hill, number 90, right there, jumps on it.
So Dallas has it.
Again, we were away. They did review it, but the play is going to stand. See, the key was that when he was hit, or before he was hit, the whistle never did blow. So then it was just recovered, hit by Bill Bates, recovered by Tony Hill.
So it's 1st and 10, Dallas. At their own 49. They open with 2 tight ends. Novacek is the man on the move. And the handoff is to Emmett Smith. Smith out of bounds by Wolford. Steve Berline opens at quarterback. What a job he's done. The offensive line in front of him: Tuine, Gogan, Stepnoski, Giesick, Nate Newton, and Jay Novacek. The league's leading rusher, Emmitt Smith, with Darrell Johnston, the other runner. Harper and Irvin. What a great year he had as well. 2nd down and 2. 3 tight ends set up this time. Again, it's Novacek on the move. Emmitt Smith. 1st down, Dallas. McMichael on the bottom of the pile. This is the Bears' basic defense. Armstrong, McMichael, William Perry, and Richard Dent, the 4 up front. Rivera, Singletary, and Morrissey, the 3 linebackers. In the secondary, Wolford and Stinson, the corners, Carrier and Gale, the safeties.
Of course, what they're playing now is a 4-4. They took their corner, Lemuel Stinson, out, and they put in a 4th linebacker, Dante Jones, number 53. They're playing with an extra linebacker as a corner.
Berline outside to Harper. A gain of 6, stopped by Wolford.
You can see what the Bears are doing. See, they only have 3 defensive backs here, and then they have 8 guys here, and that'll be 4-4. 4 defensive linemen and 4 linebackers. So what they're doing is, especially when the Cowboys have tight ends in there, they're going to match up with an extra linebacker.
2nd down, they need about 5. Berline to Smith. Emmitt Smith around the corner. knocked out of bounds by Carrier at about the 15. A gain of 19.
This guy is something, Emmitt Smith. You watch him, they don't know where he's going. This is a draw play. It's starting in the 5-hole, then it goes to the 7-hole, then it bounces out to the 9-hole. You start inside, then 1 hole out, 1 hole out. Even his offensive lineman, we're talking to Nate Newton yesterday, and he said, that guy is something. He said, they call a play, and you have no idea where it's going to end up.
You just go with the flow.
He went with the flow. He went in 3 different holes.
Harper in motion. There's Emmitt Smith again. Spins out to about the 12. Singletary. We were talking to Emmitt Smith yesterday, and that's the way he described himself, a busy type runner, and indeed he is.
And he says he has a low center of gravity, which makes him tough to tackle. He runs straight ahead, not a north and south type of guy. Steps in and out of tackles. And the big thing is, you only get one side of your body. A good running back never gets square on a tackler and will never get hit square. He said he can only remember getting hit square once this year. He said someone else had him and got hit square in the face.
Berline back to throw it. Intended for Novacek, who was belted just about the same time the ball arrived. Vince Tobin, the defensive coordinator for Chicago, brings up a 3rd down, about 7.
That was the thing that they wanted to do, I think, is hit Jay Novacek on those underneath passes. They figure that's the stuff the linebackers have to cover. Then that will loosen them up so that they can run to Emmitt Smith.
William Perry is out. James Williams replaces him. 3rd and 7. Berline on a draw play to Smith, and he's cut down and fumbled. Ball's loose. Not enough for a 1st down. Dallas still has the ball, a pickup of 3. Willis will come on to attempt the field goal.
If there's anything that has haunted the Cowboys, and they haven't had a lot of haunting lately, but it was a couple of Emmitt Smith fumbles in the middle of the season. They were saying that he was down before he fumbled. I don't know about that. Oh, no. No, he wasn't down. That ball was hit and popped right out of there. I think if the Bears recover, that's going to be reversed. There's no way that he's down anyway. Look, that ball was hit right there by Richard Dent, and it popped out the first time his hand got on it.
I think Smith got the ball back at the end.
Yeah, that's the thing.
To the offensive team, who recovered the ball. 4th down.
Emmitt Smith just happened to roll over in the right place, and the ball was there.
Yeah, that was a heck of a play by Richard Dent. Coming across, getting there, making that slap, and knocking the ball out of there.
Novacek will hold. Ken Willis will try for the field goal from 26 yards out. Willis' kick is good. 3-0 with 7:05 left to play in the 1st quarter. Dallas breaks on top. Willis will kick it off. Line drive kick. And Green is down at about the 27, a 13-yard return. He's stopped by Mickey Pruitt. 3-0 Dallas. Back at Soldier Field, Pat Summerall with John Madden. 3-0 Dallas leading. They recovered a fumble by Harbaugh at about midfield and took it down for the field goal. 1st and 10 Bears at their own 28. And knocked down after a perhaps no gain. Ken Norton made the first contact.
Tell you one thing the Bears are going to have to do here, they're going to have to loosen that Cowboy defense up, because they start with 7 up there. They have all their linebackers stacked. They don't have anyone up in the line of scrimmage. And then just before the ball snap, they're bringing 2 of their safeties up. So they start with 7 of them up in there, and then just before the ball snap, 2 more come up. So they are really trying to take away this Bear run.
Gentry split wide to the left. Gentry stay. Here comes Harbaugh. This is one thing they feared. We can't let him beat us scrambling. Vincent Smith comes up to stop Harbaugh after he picked up 6 yards.
And when we were talking to Jimmy Johnson last night, the one thing he said that he worries about more than anything in this Bear offense is this right here. You give him a lane, Harbaugh's going to take it. Then once he takes it, he is a big, strong, quick runner. And he said if there's anything that he worries about, it's Harbaugh scrambling and running with the ball, or scrambling and throwing a deep one against you.
3rd and 3. Ball's at the Bear 35. Waddle is the loop man. Harbaugh hit just as he let it go, and the ball's knocked loose. Incomplete pass. Waddle had it, but it was knocked loose.
Hey, those Cowboys hit at both ends of this one. They hit Waddle on the other end, and they hit Harbaugh on this end. Harbaugh, just as he throws it, boom, he gets it there. And at the other end of it, watch the other end, and watch what happens to Waddle. Just as he catches the ball, he gets hit.
He got hit by Holt. Tolbert is the guy who hit Harbaugh. Maury Buford in the punt. Kelvin Martin back deep for Dallas. Oh, they're after it. They blocked it. The Cowboys did. Trying to scoop it up. It's going to be a Dallas ball at about the 10.
Jimmy Johnson said he had to win 2 out of 3 phases. He said he thinks they're going to win the offensive phase and the special teams phase, and that's where it was, right there on the punt block.
Brownlow.
What they do is they overload a side. You see the overload right here on this side? 1, 2, 3. This is the side the blocks come. They overload one side, and what they do is they get 4 guys on 3 blockers, and then you're going to get 1 coming free. The one that they got coming free was Brownlow, who came straight up the middle. Much as he didn't have a chance. 3 blockers, 4 guys, 1 is going to be free.
1st and goal at the 10. Emmitt Smith to about the 6, stopped by McMichael. A gain of 4.
This is why Jimmy Johnson is such a good coach. He's involved in every phase of the game. He's not just an offensive guy or a quarterback coach or a defense. He's offense, he's defense, and he's special teams. And I'll tell you, this Dallas Cowboy team is a heck of an offensive team and a heck of a special teams team.
Well, he was saying last night, Jimmy Johnson was, that they talked to the team about the 3 phases, the offense, the defense, and the special teams, and they put a lot of emphasis on the kicking game. Berline. He's going to take off. And he's down at about the 1 by Richard Dent and Singletary.
You know, Steve Berline is not one of the quickest or fastest quarterbacks in this league or scrambler, but he uses the one thing a quarterback can use when he's running the ball. Watch him right here. He's starting to see him. He uses the ball. He fakes that. That will always take a little pressure of that defense off you. Right there. When you give him right there, that little thing there, and then that little cutback, that'll always give you something.
He got to the 1. It's 3rd and goal at the 1.
And this is what the Cowboys needed in this playoff, to get off to a good start.
Back to Emmitt Smith. Smith is not going to make it by Singletary. A flag on the play.
That's respect there. So what Emmitt Smith did, he got up there and he gave Mike Singletary a tap in the
Gale made Smith go wide, and then Singletary made the stop. Penalties against the Bears, however.
Mike Ditka was really fired up after that Monday night loss. And that's all they could think about on Tuesday, and of course Wednesday, Christmas.
On the defense, number 95, we will penalize half the distance to the goal line. First down.
Against Richard Dent.
Richard Dent is right up there on the end of the line of scrimmage. Right there, you can see him. He just takes his hand, and the guy blocks him. He gets his hand up in his face mask.
The Cowboys.
Well, the sideline marker says third down. It should be first. Now they've changed it. It is first and goal. At the 1.
You know, one place they're not going to run over. They may run around, but they're not going to run over 72.
That would be William Perry.
The end of the run.
And you know one thing, you can't run at him, and you can't cut back into him.
And it's hard to run around him.
Right, but you can run around him. You can't run away from him.
First down. And the handoff is to Emmitt Smith. He didn't get in. Now they're saying fumble. And the Bears come out of the pack with the ball.
And the officials aren't saying anything. They're just marking the ball and waving their arms. Yeah, they haven't said which way.
The player has been ruled down by contact. Second down.
Not popular at Soldier Field.
This is goal line defense. The Bears play it very, very well. They're trying to get in there behind Nate Newton. Hey, it's tough to see in that pile where the ball is. But when the Cowboys run, they want to run to their right side behind Nate Newton.
It's about a foot away. And Smith again. Touchdown.
Smith carried.
Now they got that one in there. Nate Newton is a 335-pound tackle, number 61. And as Jimmy Johnson said, if we need a short yardage, if we need a play, we're going to get in behind Newton. And he plays a right tackle. Now watch Smith. He follows his fullback Johnston in there. And at the bottom of that pile, leading that surge, is number 61, Nate Newton.
Big Nate said yesterday when he quit playing football, he was going to really get seriously heavy.
Said the highest he's ever been is 378. And I said, when? He said, every offseason.
Willis extra point is good, and the Cowboys lead 10-0. Here's the touchdown. He's in. 2:50 left in the first quarter. At 10-0. Pat Summerall with John Madden. The NFC Wildcard game. Gentry and Lewis will be back deep for the Bears. Willis will kick it off. To about the 29, perhaps the 30. 26-yard return by Bates and Hendricks.
Yeah, it seems like every special teams, you always see Bill Bates in there. Now they got a new guy. This guy here, number 29, Kenny Gant. And he runs down right next to Bates. And Jimmy Johnson was saying that if he has another guy who should be in the Pro Bowl, it's this guy. Watch him. He just takes on big blockers. Guys grab him, hold him. They knew who they have to get. You talk about a hold job. No one saw that one. That was one of the worst hold jobs I've ever seen. Holy, how'd you get away with that?
That was James Rouse.
Yeah, call 911.
He had the big lock on him, didn't he?
That was worse than a lock. That was a long old big lock.
Harbaugh to throw it. Pass it caught by Davis. First down Bears at the 45. Larry Brown was the defender.
Yeah, I think that's what the Bears have to do is they have to be able to, especially on first down, they have to be able to loosen this Cowboy defense up. That's one thing that the Bears have a problem with is they have a tough time playing uphill. And when they get behind, like last week against the 49ers, they're down 14, then they're down 21-0. They aren't going to win that game. The Bears, to win games, have to stay pretty close because they have a tough time playing uphill.
Joe Anderson. At midfield by Jack Del Rio.
He got his hat knocked off. Look at his mouthpiece is in his hat. Oh, that's a hit when the guy's mouthpiece, chin strap, hat, everything get knocked off. Watch it. I mean, that was just a hit there. Then that thing comes flying out of there.
And then he forgot it.
Now, the good news is there was nothing in it when it came flying out.
Except a mouthpiece.
Yeah, he lost all his stuff. You lose your chin strap, you lose your mouthpiece, and your hat.
Second down and 7 at midfield. Harbaugh to Mustard. Mustard to the 40. 9-yard gain stopped by James Washington.
That's why you better not key on Anderson. They have Anderson in the backfield. They run him out. That loosens everything up. And boom, Brad Mustard hits you right up the middle.
Bears are shuttling their tight ends with the play call for Harbaugh. First and 10, Davis split wide to the left, Waddle to the right. Harbaugh to throw. Receiver.
That was hope. That was everything there. That was a heck of a throw by Harbaugh, a heck of a catch by Waddle, and good defense by Ike Holt. And watch him. It's a little sprint out here to the right. He zips that thing out. Holt is right there. Holt tries to come around with that right hand and knock it down. That's about as good a coverage as you can get. Harbaugh is trying to get in another play, or get in maybe another couple of plays before this quarter ends. Of course, he's down to 10 seconds on the play clock.
2nd and 1. He'll get one more. And it's Buster at the line of scrimmage. No gain, not enough for the first down. That's the end of the first quarter with the score, Dallas 10. The Chicago Bears nothing. Ready to get underway in the second quarter with Dallas leading Chicago 10-0. It is not a first down.
Watch at the end of the play. This is the stuff that you get in playoff games too. Jennings starts to walk away after blocking Jim Jeffcoat. Jeffcoat wants to punch him, and then at the end of points. So that's the 3 P's of playoff football. You push, punch, and point. Then you're in the playoffs.
Did you see who was in the middle of breaking it up? Waddle.
Oh, yeah. And his socks were falling. He doesn't even have enough leg to hold his socks up.
There's the first down. Del Rio stopped Mustard. First quarter statistically was won by the Bears, but the Cowboys are ahead as a result of the 2 turnovers.
Yeah, the interesting thing there, the Bears had the 1 turnover. That was the Harbaugh fumble, but then the other big play that doesn't count as a turnover was a block punt. So the Cowboys have 2 scores as a result of a fumble recovery and a blocked punt.
Wonder why a block punt doesn't count as a turnover.
I don't know. It should. You know, you would think it's a turnover, except that I guess it's a 4th down play, and you were going to get it anyway.
Yes. Harbaugh incomplete. Intended for James Thornton.
Did you see Waddle? He was wide open. He was down this right side, and there was no one around him.
No one even close.
No one covered Waddle. He ran down the right side. Watch him. He's here. I don't know what happens here, but Waddle runs straight down the field, and there's no one there. Now watch him here. He goes by him. Look at this. I mean, if Harbaugh sees that, it's 20 yards. Look at Mike Ditka saw him.
He's over there.
He's saying, look at Waddle. He was wide open. He gave a little out and up, and Holt went for the out, and Waddle had the up.
Harbaugh gets to Anderson. No gain. Jeffcoat. Maybe he lost a yard.
I think Mike Ditka's looking for that play again that can get Waddle. Of course, I think it has to be a first down play, though, Mike. But I think when it can get Waddle on Holt, where Waddle can give him a double move, somewhere they'll come back in this game and get that play. Everyone saw that one, and I think they're all talking about it.
Yeah.
We blow a chance for an easy 7.
Harbaugh out of the shotgun this time. 3rd and about 11. Gentry's the man in motion. He has some time. He has Waddle. The guy's amazing. Ray Horton upended him.
And I'll tell you, he gets hit every way but loose. Watch him. He's going to come in this zone, work up, then he's going to come in here to the middle. There's the throw. He has to go up for it. He knows he's going to get hit anyway. The ground cannot cause a fumble. So once he catches it, he has to come down with it in control. I guess they're saying that he had control. I don't know about that.
Well, he was slow getting back to his feet, and he didn't quite make it back to the huddle. 10-0. Waddle has 3 receptions, including that key one just a moment ago.
I'll tell you, you see him coming off the field, and he doesn't have those eyes focused.
Not quite.
Well, I mean, you know, you talk about having cobwebs. That's cobwebs, and this is how he got the cobwebs. Look, he got upended there, and 1, how he caught that ball, that was some feat, but 2, how he holds on to it. Look at, see it, it's cradled there, how he held on to that ball until that whistle blew. Those were 2 amazing plays.
1st and 10 at the 11. Harbaugh for Davis. In the end zone and down. James Washington thinks he had an interception.
Well, what happened, I think Ike Holt tips the ball to James Washington. I don't know that the ball hit the ground, but number 30, Isaac Holt, is a defender. Watch him. Now, he tips it up in the air, then Washington comes in right there. I think the ball hit the ground now. That was a good coverage by Holt and tip to Washington. Now, did the ball hit the ground?
Incompletion. 2nd down.
Ruled incomplete. 2nd down.
2nd and 10 from the 11.
Mike Ditka said yesterday, he says, we got to take some shots. That was one of his shots.
2nd and 10 from the 11.
Of course, the shot that he should have taken was that one to Waddle.
Yeah.
On the out and up.
2nd and 10.
Isaac Holt was the guy who tipped the ball. He's still pleading his case, saying that it didn't touch the ground before James Washington caught it. Replay did look at it and said it was, they're sticking with the call on the field.
The ruling on the field was that the ball had touched the ground prior to being picked up by the defense. After further review, play of stands is called on the field. Incompletion, 2nd down.
Jimmy Johnson was over there giving the signal, we caught it, we caught it. There is a guy who has done a heck of a coaching job, though.
Really?
His first year, he was 1-15. Darn near made the playoffs, maybe in the playoffs.
That's Mustard. He is out of bounds at about the 2. A gain of 9.
something the way he runs. He looks like he's running in slow motion all the time. But the other guys don't get there. You know, you think, why can't the guys catch him? He's not going that fast. And then you look up and he's already made 8 or 9 yards. And he gets up limping. You know, he's had a couple of hamstring pulls this year.
And a problem with his hip.
This one looked like he was grabbing his right knee. I know a couple of times he pulled hamstring. That's been his biggest problem. See what he did? He switched the ball to keep the ball in his outside arm, and then he was able to use his inside arm as a straight arm.
Muster limping back to the bench.
I'll tell you, one guy that misses him is Jim Harbaugh, because Harbaugh has a heck of a lot of confidence in Muster as a receiver, as one of those get-you-off-the-hook guys.
Darren Lewis, the rookie from Texas A&M, has taken Muster's place. Harbaugh doesn't make it. Del Rio. No gain.
That was an ugly-looking quarterback sneak. I don't even think he got back to the line of scrimmage. Watch him. It's a delay thing. He's going to come to his right. He's trying to find a hole there. He runs right into the backside of his own guy. No one blocks anyone. That was an ugly, ugly goal line play.
There's Muster over on the sideline. They're going to measure.
Because, of course, the Bears can get a first down here. But that one, I mean, you got to take the ball, boom, you got to go, and you got to get your guard and tackle blocking. They didn't have any blocks or any run by the quarterback.
Looks like about the length of the ball, short. Greg Landry with Mike Ditka looking over his shoulder.
I would think that Neil Anderson, the money that he gets, and as good a back as he is, and he's as healthy right now as he's been all year, I would think that I would get the ball in his hands somehow down here.
I think that would be a very wise choice. Anderson is going to be the deep back. Lewis in front of him. That would seem to be the plan. Anderson. I don't know. He might have lost a yard. Tony Tolbert was the first Cowboy there, and Dallas takes over.
Yeah, they got it in his hands, and he didn't make any yardage. Of course, they tried the quarterback sneak. And you're going to think you would like to run something straight in there so you can't lose yardage. If you knew that was going to happen, you would have kicked the field goal.
Yep. 10-0.
The thing about this play is the motion guy brings Horton over, and look who ends up making the tackle. Number 20 right there, Ray Horton. He was over on the other side. They brought the tight end in motion. I really don't like a sweep on that play anyway, but that brought the guy over who helped make the tackle.
Emmett Smith on first down, hit by William Perry. Perhaps he got 2 yards, but that's all.
Well, this is where the defense really has to tighten up, because they can get the ball back and get good field position. I think this is a big thing that, now that quarterback sneak on third down was a bad call or a bad play trying to sweep. They probably, could have gone for the field goal there. But if the defense can get the ball back here and get good field position, they can still get another shot here.
2nd and 8. Smith is the lone setback. Burline back again. Incomplete. Intended for Michael Irvin, who hasn't caught a ball yet.
I'll tell you, Steve McMichael really put the pressure on Steve Burline. In fact, he hits him. He darn near knocked him out of the end zone. Watch McMichael, number 76, put a lick here on Burline. By the time Burline ends up, he's about 5 yards back.
Burline 1 out of 3. Steve Michael just keeps rolling along.
And Jimmy Johnson doesn't care about the 1 out of 3 as long as there's no turnovers, no interceptions, no fumbles.
Erlang in the end zone again. Going deep. Through the hands of Michael Irvin. That's a good throw. Away from the defender. Just couldn't quite get there.
It looks like he thought that he threw it enough. Irvin gives a little stop and go there. He gets the step. Speed is not one of Irvin's strengths. If he had another step of speed, he could have caught that one. He made a good move. He made that stop and go move, so that got him to step beyond the defender, but he needed one more step to catch the ball.
Saxon back to punt it to Donnell Wolford, who's returning punt. Saxon's kick is a good one. Wolford is down at about the 47-yard line. The first Cowboy down was the man John Madden was talking about a minute ago, Gant. 43-yard punt by Saxon out of deep in the end zone. 10-0 Cowboys. The Bears 10-0. Block punt set up the Cowboy touchdown. They recovered a fumble and got the field goal after that. First down to Harbaugh. Fake to Anderson. The ball juggled by 2 or 3 different people. Horton, Brown. Davis had a hand on it.
Well, you know, one thing that the Bears are doing is that they're passing the ball some on first down. Watch Hilgenberg here, the center. See, he takes off. He's going to block to the left. See how he gets underneath the guy? Gets underneath and grabs and kind of holds and straightens the guy up. Got a double team. Always staying with him. Good pass protection. You see how he gets underneath? You see most guys try and block underneath. He stands up and then puts his hands underneath. It's a technique that he's the only center in football that uses.
2nd and 10. Harbaugh back to throw again. Thornton. Incomplete.
I'll tell you, this Cowboy defense is really impressive. I thought that, you know, coming into this game, and even Jimmy Johnson said that we're going to win 2 out of 3 battles. We'll win our offense against their defense. We'll win the special teams. And he didn't feel that confident about his defense, but I think the way his defense has been playing so far, he's winning 3 out of 3.
They've been out there a long time. 3rd and 10.
And that could show in the second half.
Certainly could. Here comes the fake blitz by Horton. Maybe it's not a fake. He backed out. Harbaugh hammered just as he let the pass go to Waddle. It is a catch, and it'll be a Bear first down.
Yeah, you wonder what they'd do if they didn't have Waddle. Watch Jim Jeffcoat, number 77. We'll watch him in the pass rush here. You see, he starts to the outside like he's trying to make Wojciechowski go out. Then you bring your left arm across and hit him with your left arm. Then that gives you the inside pass rush. He put a jolt on Harbaugh. You see what Jeffcoat, you try and get that tackle to go up the field. Then you bring your inside arm and whack him that way and keep him going that way. Then that allows you an inside lane.
You saw perhaps that time of possession. The Bears have had the ball over 13 minutes. More than twice as much as Dallas. Here's Harbaugh back to throw it again. Over the head of Jennings. Incomplete.
There you Harbaugh really got hit 2 plays ago by Jeffcoat. He didn't get it on that ugly quarterback sneak down here.
No.
Last time they had the ball. I think he ought to stay to throwing the ball, not running it. Of course, Neil Anderson isn't doing anything either. If they're going to be successful, they're going to have to get some running game going. And now with Brad Muster's injury, they're going to have to get it from Neil Anderson. And he's had 5 carries, and he's only made 4 yards so far.
Gentry in motion on 2nd and 10, and Harbaugh will throw it. If he has time, he just barely did. Pass is intercepted in the end zone by Brown. Intended for Wendell Davis. Brown picked it off.
Hey, and that's a defense. The defense are causing those things. They're getting fumbles. They're getting interception. They're blocking punts. These aren't things the Bears are just doing. This Dallas defense is making them do it. They're getting pass rush. They have good coverage. This is a rookie here. In fact, we were talking to Jimmy Johnson last night. He was saying that maybe Larry Brown is his most consistent defensive back. But you need some of this, too. The rush, and you may not get there, but if he's going to throw it, hit him right as he throws it.
That was Tony Tolbert, who has been outstanding so far. Berline will throw on first down. Irvin out of bounds by Donnell Wolford. His first catch of the day, 14-yard gain and a Dallas first down.
And we know who's watching this game with a lot of interest, the Detroit Lions. They're watching this and seeing, how does this Michael Irvin get open and catch so many passes? Well, there's one of the ways the guy does it, because Detroit knows that next week they play in Detroit against the winner of this game. He's the best cover guy of the Cowboys of the Bears, and he goes wherever Irvin goes.
This is Emmitt Smith. Out of bounds at the 45. About a foot shy of the first down, knocked out by Singletary.
Run out of bounds by Singletary.
Vince Tobin is one of the top defensive coordinators in this league, and the Cowboys are kind of keeping him off balance. You know what he likes to do is take away the thing that they do the best. Well, if you mix up and do a lot of things, then there's no single thing to take away, and that's frustrating you.
Well, they have 2 or 3 different ways to hurt you. Irvin, Novacek, Emmitt Smith.
And that's what they've been doing.
Handoff is to Darrell Johnston, but a flag on the play. Trace Armstrong made the tackle.
And Berline is a master at that, of drawing the other team offside with his cadence.
Every one of the Cowboys that we talked to mentioned that yesterday.
That's the thing. That's a big difference between he and Troy Aikman. He has that staggered count, and he'll give you a soft hut and then a couple of hard huts. And he'll pick up 4 or 5 of those offsides a game.
Offsides.
As Nate Newton said the other day, or yesterday,
5-yard penalty. Repeat the down. First down.
My man Steve's got that voice.
He does, and of course what he meant by that is when you get that voice in your first year, you're on offense, you're the guy that jumps, so you start jumping. And then when you get it under control and you understand it, then the defense jumps.
First and 5. Coming, Berline looking, as a man. That's Michael Irvin. Down to about the 25. A gain of 25.
Now I think the Cowboys are ready to open up. They get the ball in midfield. This is where you bring out your tricks. You always wait until about the 50-yard line. So there's a flea flicker. Back to Berline. He finds a guy wide open, and if you're going to find a guy wide open, it might as well be Michael Irvin. But you see him come across here. The ball goes there. Irvin just starts off like it's a run, then just runs away from Donnell Wolford and makes him slip and picks up another 10 yards.
First down at about the 26. That's Emmitt Smith. Down to about the 21. Stopped by Perry.
Took the handoff.
5-yard pickup. Funny, he doesn't look like he's gaining as many yards as he does.
Yeah, but he's always moving. You know, he never stops. And as he says, he never gives you anything to hit. He never knows where he's going. The guys don't either. He's making moves in the hole all the time. He's stepping out of things. He has great instinct and great feel.
2nd and 5 at the 21. Dallas leading 10-0, 7 minutes left to play in the first half. Berline looking for somebody. We found one of the officials.
He just threw that one away. Watch this. You want to see a pass rush? You want to see what happens on a pass rush? This is what you call an avalanche right here. You just get things going backwards. It just pile everything up. You get it going there, and you just get them all in one pile. Watch this when it goes down. Berline had no one to throw to. He just threw that one away.
3rd and 5. There's fake the blitz. Batted down. Berline was looking in the direction of Jay Novacek, and we'll see Willis.
Now watch Richard Dent, 95. He starts out here in the bottom, then he's going to go to the inside. See 95, he starts inside. He gets a double team there, just gets his hand up there and bats it down with his left hand. Richard Dent loves to do that. Start on the outside, rush from the outside, and then sometimes stunt back to the inside.
Willis has hit one today. This one will be from 38 yards out. Novacek is the holder. No good. Hit the upright. So the lead remains 10-0 with 6:44 left to play in the first half. 10-0 here at Soldier Field. Dallas leading Chicago. Harbaugh back to throw it. Chased out of the pocket. Colbert put pressure on again. Intended for Waddle. But he had no chance.
I'll tell you, if you look at the first 4 possession of the Bears and you look at the way they ended, that's what's really killing them. They had a fumble, and the ending is for everything has been disastrous for the Bears.
2nd and 10. Waddle again is the man in motion, and Harbaugh. Gets to Anderson, thrown for a loss by Jack Del Rio and Russell Maryland.
Yeah, this is a tough situation for Coach Mike Ditka here because he wants to run, and he doesn't want to abandon the run. But every time he runs the ball, he's not even getting the ball back to the line of scrimmage. So now you have the frustration that you don't want to just go pass, pass, pass every down, but every time you run, you're not having any success with it. Now, like Neil Anderson so far has 6 carries for 1 yard. Now, that's not the Neil Anderson anyone knows.
3rd and 13. Bears back up to their own 17-yard line, and Harbaugh to throw it. Gets it out of there. It's caught by Waddle. Ray Horton knocked him down, but a gain of 15.
If the Bears don't have Waddle, they don't have anything today. I mean, he's the only offense they got. The Cowboys are using a zone here, so Waddle's just working against the zone. He's running an in pattern, finding that hole in there, but you'd think somewhere you'd start bumping on the line or get some guys against Waddle because they don't seem to have much else going today.
He's amazing. Aaron Lewis. Excuse me.
I'm saying that's what makes it fun.
Lewis was the man in motion. Here's Harbaugh. Gets it outside to Lewis. Out of bounds at about the 44 by Isaac Hope.
By Isaac Hope. A gain of 11 on the completion.
First down Bears. That's his first career reception. So that's worth another look.
Right, well, here it is. He starts in motion, and then he's just going to run it out. He started on the left side, came across in motion, ran it out. No one came with him. It was a zone. They were all playing off, and Lewis just caught the ball underneath it.
First down Bears. The handoff to Anderson. That might be his longest gain of the day, 5 yards. James Washington made the stop with an assist from Russell Maryland.
Did you see Neil Anderson on it? He had his head down. That's not That's the thing that Neil Anderson developed when he hurt his hamstring. He's not keeping his head up, and he's not looking to make cuts. Watch him here. He just puts his head down. You see here, he's just going to come in this hole right there. See him put his head down. He should have his head up and looking for cuts, because that's the way Neil Anderson usually plays.
Well, when you have a bad hamstring, which has been bothered by all year long, you can't make those cuts.
And that's the thing that hurts him. I mean, he can still run, but he can't make the cut.
Lewis to the 40 of Dallas. 11 yards.
Aaron Lewis is a rookie who's given some life here to this Bear team. They need it. We're saying now Mike Ditka loves to run the ball, and their runner's always been Neil Anderson. Brad Muster is hurt, so they have to get it for someone, so they're going to the rookie Darren Lewis. And he caught a pass, gave him a little life, and now he gets that big run for a first down that gives him some life.
And a first down.
The Bears do need life.
And again, that Dallas defense has been out there a long time. They show blitz again. Harbaugh gets rid of it to Waddle. Incomplete. He had to get rid of it. Brown was the Cowboy cover man.
Yeah, because Harbaugh was throwing to his left, and coming straight at him on the left was an unblocked Cowboy. I think they went overbalanced to that side, and you watch from his left side, you're going to see a guy come free. You see it right there? Again, it was Jeffcoat, and that was the side that he had to throw to, so Harbaugh saw Jim Jeffcoat coming all the way and knew that he better get rid of that thing.
2nd and 10. Bears at the Cowboy 40. Just over 3 minutes left. This is Lewis again. Lewis has another Bear first down. Gain of 11, stopped by Smith.
Now, it's funny how the running game can give you life. I've always said the best friend of a quarterback is a running game. Look at the pressure Harbaugh's been under. He's been sacked, hurried 7 times, knocked down 6 times, had 1 batted ball, and he's had 1 intercepted. And, of course, he's also fumbled 1. So you don't want to have to do it all the time. You want to get some of this going.
First and 10, Bears just inside the Cowboy 30. Harbaugh outside to his tight end. Out of bounds at about the 18-17 make it. A gain of 13. Brown knocked him out of bounds.
Yeah, but isn't it funny how a completed pass doesn't give you life? The thing that gives an offense life is a run. And they didn't get it, and they were trying, and then finally Darren Lewis comes in, gives them a little life, and now boom, 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 the Bears are starting to get things going again.
And we'll get the 2-minute warning. With Dallas leading Chicago 10-0. 2 minutes to go in the first half of the NFC.
Congratulations to the Falcons and the Chiefs.
1st and 10. Handoff is to Lewis, and again he slashes for good yardage. That'll be another Bear first down. A gain of 11. James Washington.
Boy, if you were a coach, Pat, you stand there in your sideline, you say, boy, this guy came to play.
Where's he been?
Why didn't we put him in before? I mean, someday you just have it, and it's your day, and you got that extra life, and you got that extra bounce, and this guy has it today, and he's giving it to this Bear offense.
Lewis has had the ball 4 times, 1 pass reception, and every time he's touched it, he's gained 11 yards.
That's not bad. That will always get you a first down, unless you've had a penalty.
Harbaugh wants to take a timeout with 1 minute 17 seconds left to play.
Of course, the last time the Bears got down there, they had a foul up, remember, and they didn't get in. It looked like pretty good. Mike Ditka's thinking, we have to get one in here.
1st and goal at the 6. Lewis to about the 2. Stopped by Casillas. But he got 4 yards, so that'll hurt his average of 11.
I'll tell you, he's a powerful guy. You know, this Lewis isn't a little guy. He's like 5'10", but he weighs 230 pounds. So he was a 6th-round draft choice, as we see here. But he is a powerful guy, and he's a big man.
Speaking of big men, Madison.
Ron Mattis goes in as an extra blocker. He goes in as a tight end down here in the goal line.
2nd and goal at the 2. That's Anderson. To about the 1. Stopped by Del Rio.
I think Darren Lewis came in there, Pat, and even gave Neil Anderson some life. I think he gave Mike Ditka some life. I think he gave Greg Landry some life. I think this guy spread it around because they didn't attack it the first time they were down there. The Bears didn't attack the goal line the way they're attacking it this time. I mean, they're getting some movement. They're hitting in there. They're quicker. They're coming off the ball. They're doing all the earlier. As you said, though, Pat, that Dallas defense has been out on the field a long time in this first half, and they could start to wear down.
Harbaugh needs it a little bit more quiet than it is. Gets his wrist and he's ready to go. Anderson didn't make it. No gain about the 1 hit by Tony Tolbert. Now what?
Now you have to kick the field goal. There's no decision here.
Here comes Butler.
Like I said, they got some points. You have to get something on the board. They got down there. They can't get it in. They were down here the first time they ran a quarterback sneak. They tried to sweep. That didn't work. Here they tried to bang it in a couple of times. They didn't make any yards. The Dallas Cowboys have whipped them on the goal line this first half, and you better take your 3. Watch them here. They don't get any movement. You see the Cowboys get penetration. They got 2, 3 extra guys there. There's no chance for the runner.
Norton and Tolbert.
You saw the hit that he took from Norton, or the hit that Norton took, too. Watch number 51, Norton there. Watch his head snap back as he and Anderson hit helmets.
Harbaugh will hold for Kevin Butler. A 19-yard field goal attempt. And the Bears get on the board. Kevin Butler is another of the many Bears who've had injury problems all year long.
He has a hip flexor extension. He got a new word for it that he gave me yesterday, but that thing, he said, isn't going to heal until the season's over. He said he needs, remember that? Yeah, as long as it stays up there, we're fine. But if it tries to get down in here, we could have some problems. And there's a football player, Nate Newton. He admits to weighing 335 pounds. I like that. And he said when he's through playing, he said he's just going to go and get seriously fat. Said in the off season he goes up to 378 pounds every off season. He said when it's all over and he doesn't play anymore, he said then he'll just work on getting truly fat.
He said sometimes you wake up in the middle of the night, and he said the movies won't do the trick, so I eat.
It's hard. I understand that. I mean, that's...
Ball got away from Gant. Stopped by Mangum. Now
in the right-hand corner, that's called hollandaise sauce. That should never be in a tailgate.
Well, you got to be aware, I think, of round sandwiches. The intended receiver was Harper. Did they come down with the ball? I think they did.
Yeah, he did. Harper caught it.
In any case, that's the end of the first half with the score. Now, wait a minute. Jimmy Johnson doesn't believe so. But it is the end of the first half with the score. Dallas 10, the Bears 3.
Merlin Olsen, who has announced his retirement from sportscasting. Merlin starred on the gridiron for 15 years and then excelled in the booth above it for another decade and a half, first at NBC and most recently here at CBS. Thank you, Merlin, for sharing your grace and your expertise with us, and we wish you all the best in your future business and acting endeavors. And we'll return to Pat and John at Soldier Field in Chicago after this word from your local station.
Let's go down to Leslie Visser.
Pat, as you know, the Cowboys have been tough on the road this year, and they're proving it again today. They have a blocked punt, they have interceptions, they have goal line stands. Offensive coordinator Norv Turner told me their only complaint offensively is they haven't had the ball enough. He said they're pleased with Steve Berline, even though he's only 4 of 8. That's because there are no negative plays, no fumbles, and no interceptions. Could be more bad news for the Bears. They have to, could be more bad news for the Bears. They've been an excellent fourth-quarter team, the Cowboys. For more on the Bears, let's go over to Pat O'Brien.
All right, Leslie, thank you. No secret what's going on over here. Mike Ditka had told us before the game that they wanted to score early. That hasn't happened. Now they're in a hole and not a great catch-up team. As for this inside the 5 stuff, Greg Landry, the offensive coordinator, says if they get down there again, they plan to throw the ball. Mike Ditka says, hey, I feel fine. They haven't done anything to us. We're doing it to ourselves. Let's go back up to the booth.
Pat Summerall here with John Madden. And John, your impressions of the first half, as we pointed out or tried to point out earlier, that Dallas defense has been out on the field an awful long time.
Yeah, and they did play very well, especially as the Bears got closer to the goal line. I think the Bears got down there, and then the Dallas defense just stiffened. And as Leslie was saying, Norv Turner was saying that they haven't had the ball a lot. The Cowboys haven't, but they haven't had any bad plays. And I think that can hurt you, too, because somewhere along the line, everything has been going your way. You've been stopping them. You've been getting the turnovers, but you only have a 7-point lead.
Why do you think it is? And we were talking about this the other day. When people say the defense has been out there a long time, you don't ever worry about the offense. The offense is not supposed to get tired, I guess.
I know. I've never understood that, but I guess the offense knows where it's going, and everyone loves offense.
What do you see coming up in the second half?
Well, I think it's going to go right down to the end of the fourth quarter.
We'll be ready for the start of the second half when we come back.
Here's out there.
Gardocki will kick it off and goes out of bounds. Not too pleased with that performance, Chris Gardocki. Halftime statistics controlled by the Bears. Look how much time they had the ball.
And that's the thing you were just talking about, that means that the Cowboy defense was out there, that offense for the Cowboys, and then the Bears not being able to score when they get down to the goal line.
Dallas leading 10-3. First series of the second half. Berline. Going deep. Alvin Harper makes the reception, and it's a completion. Stinson was the Bear defender, but a 38-yard gain.
That was a good decision because they knew that Michael Irvin was getting all the coverage. So what they did is they decided, well, let's go the other way. Let's work on Lemuel Stinson. We know where he's going to be because he's going to be on Alvin Harper. Now, that was one that you have to give to the coaches. You know, you say, what do they do at halftime? They go in there and they talk about what they're going to do the first time they got the ball. That was their idea. Let's go to Alvin Harper deep on the first play.
The Cowboys huddled up quickly and tried to get a play run, but they're going to review this to see if Harper did indeed.
Play of the second half was a big play.
Bears blitz, Berline throws. Intended for Irvin, incomplete, covered by Donnell Wolford.
Donnell Wolford is the best cover guy of the Bears, and he is going to take Michael Irvin. Wherever Irvin goes, if Irvin goes right or left, Donnell Wolford's going on that side. You see how he got his left arm in there? That's smart, because if you get your arm in there, then the guy's momentum will take you in the direction that his pattern is going.
And if Michael Irvin gets his hands on you, he is an artist at pushing off the defensive back.
Well, he's not real fast, but he's big and strong.
Emmitt Smith hitting the backfield. First by Dent, then by Perry. A loss of 3.
I always say about Richard Dent, he plays at a bunch of different levels, and you're going to see him get the penetration. He's going to come right up the middle, get the penetration right there. See right there? And then the guy that's with him is Perry. And Emmitt Smith couldn't see daylight. The Bears moved dent all around. We've seen him outside as a right end. We've seen him standing outside as a linebacker. And we've also seen him inside, like an inside linebacker on that one. Now he's down as a normal defensive end.
Here's Burline. The Bears blitz again. Pass is incomplete. Intended for Calvin Martin. After the long completion to Harper, the Bears stiffen. And here comes Willis.
Now that was David Tate, number 49, that comes on a blitz. Watch McMichael there. He's in the middle, and he's telling them what the heck they're going to do. There's Tate. He comes from deep. You see, and he just times it. Of course, when a guy comes out, he won't be blocked.
From 47 yards out, Willis will try with Novacek holding. Nowhere near. What wind there is was in his face, but that didn't come close. Well, that's how they got the 10 points.
It's going to be interesting. Remember the life that Darren Lewis gave the Bears at the end of the first half. You wonder if it's going to carry over and he can do the same thing in the second half.
He's the lone setback. Anderson split out to the right. Harbaugh goes the other way. Wendell Davis, 9-yard gain. Larry Brown made the stop.
You know what's been interesting? The field really isn't in good shape. As you said, the middle of the field is kind of all not much there. All it is painted dirt out there. But in all, the footing has been pretty good down there. And I think that both teams were worried about that. The Bears came down and practiced on Soldier Field during the week. The Cowboys came out. It was covered last night. They couldn't even see it. But everyone was concerned about the footing, and I don't think that has come into play yet.
I haven't seen too many people slipping. Short yardage by Anderson, but enough for a first down, tripped up by Tony Tolbert.
Neil Anderson just hasn't been able to get uncorked here today, neither running or pass receiving. Again, Darren Lewis was the guy that gave the Bears a life, the rookie.
Well, you have to know that Neil Anderson, the way he's running, is not 100%.
Yeah, and especially when you look at his statistics, he's carried the ball 10 times for 9 yards and has not caught a pass. And yesterday he felt pretty fired up, and Mike Ditka said that he thinks he's as healthy as he's been in a long time.
He's in motion this time. Harbaugh back to throw it, and does complete to Davis. Knocked out of bounds by Holt, but another Bear first down.
Yeah, the Bears and Harbaugh have really been moving the ball pretty well and throwing the ball and doing those kinds of things. It's just being able to keep it going. And then the big thing, they've done all those things, moving, running, passing, but they only have 3 points.
Once they get in that red zone inside the 20, things start to bog down.
You know, and it can be a smart aleck answer sometimes, but if you ask Mike Ditka, what do you have to do? He'll just say score, and it is a smart aleck answer sometimes, but it's also the truth.
Harbaugh to throw. It's out of the pocket and down inside the Cowboy 45, a scramble of 4 yards. Smith took him down.
Well, you know, James Thornton hurt his ankle again, and he's coming limping off the field. And I think Thornton was the guy that he was going to. Thornton's just getting to the sideline now, and he's had trouble with that foot all year. And then against Detroit, he hurt his ankle, and it looked like he hurt it again on that play. And I think he hurt it just before Harbaugh was going to throw the ball to him.
Anytime he tries to change the direction, he aggravates it seems. Second down. That's Lewis. Tripped up by Norton, but he's close to another Bear first down. A 5-yard gain by Darren Lewis.
The guy who's been in on a lot of plays, Ken Norton. Yeah, he's coming along. Norton, Del Rio. Those guys are doing a good job as a linebacker of this Cowboy team. And then inside, Russell Maryland starting to play, the #1 draft choice. Jim Jeffcoat has played as well today as I've seen him in a while.
Tony Casillas is steady.
Yeah, they, you know, this is a battle that Jimmy Johnson thought that they may lose, but they've been playing a very scrappy defensive game.
3rd and short. Harbaugh comes this way. He's coming out with it. Harbaugh gets the first down inside the Dallas 30. 10-yard gain for Harbaugh.
You know who did a good job on that was James Thornton. We were just talking about. We saw him go limping off, and he was back on that. It's tough because it's a bootleg, and it's a bootleg pass or run. So here's Thornton down there as a receiver. So he either has to be a receiver or he has to be a blocker. Now watch what happens as the ball comes out here. Thornton is number 80 here, and now he sneaks out here. Now if we could just stop it right here, we see the line. Here he is as a receiver. Here's Harbaugh. Now he has to become a blocker, which he did. They got the first down.
Harbaugh going deep, and he's got Waddle. Not quite. He had to turn around and lost a step. Waddle was 10 yards behind everybody.
And that is the second time that's happened to Waddle today. In the first half, he was wide open on the right side. Harbaugh didn't see him. That time he saw him and overthrew him. But that is just out of his reach. In fact, if he runs through that, he may catch that. I mean, you can't say that that's a bad catch, but you also can't say that's a bad throw. That was a pretty darn good throw by Harbaugh.
On 2nd down, they give to Lewis again. To about the 25. Gain of 4.
Lewis is frustrating this Cowboy defense and coaches because he doesn't give you something to hit to. Did you see how he starts? He runs that trap and then he turns sideways there, and then they've missed tackles on Darren Lewis, and I think part of it may be poor tackling, but I think a large part of it is Darren Lewis is running.
Bears out in a hurry as the Cowboys try to make some substitutions. There's a little confusion on their defense right now. They got nobody deep. Harbaugh's changing the play. That's going to be incomplete. Jimmy Jones came clean and forced Harbaugh to hurry.
And he knew that he had to hurry, so he knew that there was no help deep, as you said. So he was going to work on the rookie corner, Larry Brown. Brown had very good coverage. There was nothing there. Like, watch down there at the bottom. You see, that's where Brown is. He gets his hand. The receiver slips a little, and there's nothing for him at all.
You ready for a fake field goal, maybe? Harbaugh will hold for Butler. Butler's good. It didn't look too pretty, but it's 10-6. 8:25 left to play in the 3rd quarter. Kevin Butler, who just kicked that field goal, side around side.
Well, it came out of there like a knuckleball.
Yeah. Right. Now he's got some speed, but he also needs some room. Zorich led the special teams down.
There's old Glenn Kozlowski there. He came out with a ball somehow. A lot of time looking or working on him. They've been giving him smelling salts most of the day, and now they're taking him off the field.
They're going to get him a new battery, maybe. Singletary stopped Emmitt Smith.
Well, whatever it is, his legs aren't hurt because they got him running off the field. You don't find that much, that combination of a guy going off the field during the game running.
Whatever
whatever it is, they're not going to start working on him until they get him in the house.
They call that area Bear Alley. At least the Bear locker room.
And this crowd is starting to come alive too, Pat. There's a different intensity in this crowd level.
Look at Richard Dent. Here's Berline. To Urban. Midfield.
You know, you talk about the guy, you know if you're going to run, they're going to run it to Emmitt Smith. You know if they're going to throw short, probably Jay Novacek. But if you're going to go up the field, you're going to throw it to this guy. And that's his #1 pattern, that deep in pattern. He just comes up, he takes in, and he's so big that he can get his body between the quarterback and the defender.
Urban comes to the left this time. Wolford comes with him. Harper split wide to the right. Johnston in motion. Emmitt Smith. Through the pile about the 44, a gain of 7. Waddle, we just saw headed for the dressing room a minute ago, has a bruised sternum. So they've taken him in for x-rays. That's Singletary. But Dante Jones has replaced him. That's Emmitt Smith. And Jones made the stop.
Yeah, the other guy that was there was a fridge. You know, one thing about him, I mean, you know, his size has gotten away from him a little bit. But you forget to say that the guy is still a good football player. And that he can play the run very well. And he just controlled that side and goes right down the line. You're not going to run at him. And it's tough if you run to the right. It's tough to cut back there. I mean, he kind of polices that middle pretty well.
1st and 10 Cowboys. Berline will throw it on 1st down. Gets it to Harper to the Bear 25. 15-yard pickup and a flag on the play.
It's going to be back there in the area of offensive holding against the Cowboys.
That's what it is.
And you see the flag back there, and you're going to make a guess. That's a guess you make.
Holding. Offense. Number 53. 10-yard penalty. Repeat the down. 1st down.
Waddle is back. Stepnoski.
Stepnoski.
Holding.
Yeah, he's the center. You watch number 53 there. He's blocking on McMichael. He gets his left hand up and then pushes with his right. I think the left hand, they could have called that. And then if they didn't, they probably called when the right hand pushed him down.
There's Brad Muster back out of uniform in civilian clothes now.
And you can tell just the way he was moving gingerly that right knee is really bothering him.
1st down, Cowboys midfield. Berline gives to Emmitt Smith. Smith gets back to about the 38-yard line, a gain of 11. He is amazing.
I'll tell you, good blocking, but does he finish it off at the end? Watch the blocking in the middle. That allows the first hole. Then he's going to cut back there and watch him hit Mark Carrier at the end. Carrier go boom and right on his back. That's what you talk about when you say, how do you finish off a run? This is how you finish off a run. Where the defensive guy goes backward.
Well, it's as he said, he never gives you that much to hit.
And then you think he's not going to give you much, and boom, he gives you a big shoulder.
2nd down. They need about 9. Berline back to throw. Incomplete. Intended for Irvin over his head.
Michael Irvin catches more passes than anyone. He's in the Pro Bowl this year. One of the best receivers in the game. He's going to be for a long time. Donnell Wolford really has his work cut out because he is playing them all over the field today.
Well, you know, when we were talking to the coaches yesterday, Norvell Turner was saying one of the reasons he's so effective is because he doesn't mind coming across the middle.
Yeah, and they will always be effective. The guys that will go inside will always be the most effective receiver. That's what Jerry Rice will do, too.
They're showing blitz, and here they come. Berline out to Michael Irvin. Got away from 2, got away from a 3rd, and went out of bounds. A Dallas 1st down at about the 11. Carrier finally took him down.
And you know the thing about Michael Irvin, I think he enjoys being a star. I think he loves this game. He loves the lifestyle. He has fun playing the game. Watch what he did to Wolford. He told him he was going deep, then he pushed him up, then he ran the out, then he caught the ball. He knew that's not the end of it. He starts making some more moves. Watch it. You can just catch the ball, but after you do that, you're still a football player. Boom, 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 boom. That's the old street move there. And then you cut back, you wait for a block, pick up another 5-6 yards.
And then you protect the ball.
And get out of bounds.
First down, Dallas. Burline. Deep for Harper, incomplete, no flags. Stinson was with him.
You know, the Cowboys won 5 in a row, and that was that big run, and this guy here has been a big part of their offense. If you look at the percentage of total yards in the last 5 games, Michael Irvin has been 41% of it.
That's incredible. If you put him, Irvin, and Emmitt Smith together, that would almost be 100%.
So far in this game, he's been 32%.
On second down, pass incomplete, intended for Novacek. A flag on the play.
I'll tell you, Burline saw that all the way. Look at the first guy down there is Burline. He ran down there. He threw the ball, then he started calling it. He threw it, and then he followed. He started running down there pointing, but there was a penalty on the play.
David Tate was the defender.
If you would let him, quarterbacks could be pretty good officials as far as pass interference because they see the whole thing.
Defense, number 49, 5-yard penalty, automatic first down.
Number 49 is David Tate. And you see that he came in there after. It looked like to me that it was after the guy threw the ball.
Gives the Cowboys a first down. Let's look at it again.
That's 49 right there. I think the ball was already there. I think Burline may have talked him into one there. You got to let defenders play.
Smith to about the 9, stopped by Perry and James Williams. Second down. Mike Ditka's play list.
Well, he has his game plan there. You take the game plan and then you shorten it down to the list of plays that you want to run. Of course, the Cowboys have had the ball for a long time, so Ditka hasn't been able to use that play list.
Second and 7. That's Smith. To about the 3. Stopped by Dent. That's close to a first down. 6 yards for Emmitt Smith.
Yeah, the Cowboys only have 5 running plays, and Emmitt Smith just makes about 20 out of them. You see that play, and most of them have been that way. He starts to the right, and then immediately he cuts it back to the left. Now watch this. This is probably called the even number holes in the right. This is probably called to the 4 hole. The minute he gets the ball, he sees a hole back the other way, and he starts to take it. He says when he gets the ball, he can see from one side of the defense to the other side.
He got to the 4, so that makes it 3rd and 2. Smith the lone setback. They give it to Emmitt Smith, and he'll have a first down. Maybe a touchdown. No signal yet.
First down. He looked like he pushed that pile all the way into the end zone. You know, again, some of these times you think these guys are little guys, but their legs are so powerful, they really have a push at the end of the run. Watch him here. Watch him push and drag and make everything go backward. And the guy that he was pushing backwards was William Perry.
That's a task.
That's a push. Look at him. He's making that defensive pile go backward.
Leave it on the ground. Burline missed the handoff to Smith. That was almost disaster. A loss of 6 yards.
Yeah, that is what makes coaches wonder what they're doing in this business. You're so close now. Now you not only lost all that yardage, but now you go from a running down to a passing down.
It just slipped out of Berline's hand.
Yeah, it did. I mean, there was none. The ball just came out.
2nd and goal from the 7. Harper's the man in motion. It's to Emmitt Smith. Stopped by Morrissey. 4 yards for Emmitt Smith.
Yeah, that was the tough thing about that loss is they have to throw somewhere. They came back to Emmitt Smith, but if they're going to score a touchdown, I don't think they can run on this 3rd down. I think they have to pass and kick a field goal, or pass and make a touchdown, of course.
3rd and goal at the 3.
The other thing you can do, if you're going to run on 3rd down, then you have to determine right now that you're also going to run on 4th down if you don't make it.
2 tight ends to the left. Novacek, touchdown.
So it worked out for the Cowboys. They lost the ball. They lost the yard. It forced them into a passing down. So Berline throws a touchdown to Novacek.
You know what else that drive did? It gave their defense a chance to rest.
And the other thing it did, it took the crowd out of this game. Because the crowd was just starting to get into the game. I'll tell you, that drive silenced this crowd.
Willis will try the extra point. 23 seconds left to play in the 3rd quarter. Extra point is good at 17-6. Touchdown pass. Berline to Novacek.
Hey, Berline backs out. That means he's going to throw to the left. He's watching Jay Novacek all the way.
Seconds left to play in the 3rd quarter. Man who just scored the touchdown, Jay Novacek. Darren Lewis and Dennis Gentry back deep for the Bears. Willis kickoff. Headed for Lewis. He fields it at the 15. Down at the 20. Smagala and Brownlow.
You know, I think the key thing, we saw that drive, obviously.
Lewis and Anderson, the running backs for Jim Harbaugh. Keith Jennings, the tight end in motion. Harbaugh. The Dallas pressure. Del Rio was the first man there, along with Jimmy Jones.
You know what the Cowboys are doing, Pat, is they're running what they call run blitzes on 1st down. And then when the Bears are going into 1st down, what they're doing is they're just running into the pass. Now here's Del Rio. He's going to come in here, run blitz to stop it, and then it's a pass, so he just keeps going. And he's right there. You see, this is a run blitz. Boom, he goes to hit that hole, and then it's a pass, and he's right there for the pass rush.
That's the end of the 3rd quarter with the score Dallas 17. Last drive.
Well, you know, the Cowboys did a heck of a lot with that drive. Not only put them ahead, could be the drive that takes them another step in the playoffs, and among all the other things. Rested the defense.
2nd and 15. Harbaugh. Davis makes the catch and scrambles for a 1st down. An 18-yard gain.
Yeah, if you look at the statistics after 3 quarters, you know, we know about all the ones, but look at this one here. This inside the opponent's 5-yard line. The Bears have been there twice, no points. The Cowboys, of course, have been there twice and 2 scores. So I think, you know, that's the big thing. I mean, you can have this and that, but you have to score, and you have to score when you get down there.
Here's the handoff to Lewis. He gets 7 yards, perhaps. Smith tripped him up.
I think this whole Cowboy defense is probably the underrated area of this football team. In fact, Tony Casillas was telling us last night if we win this game, we're going to have T-shirts made up that's going to say the no-name defense. You look at the cleats there, the different. That's Zorich here, and he's wearing a steel tip cleat. They have about 5 different types of cleats that players can wear in different field conditions, and they choose them after the pregame warm-up.
Here's Harbaugh rolling. Chase and throws it away. Tony Tolbert.
You know, if you look at this,
excuse me, John.
You see, you can use a 3/4 inch butt cleat. Now that's usually linemen use that one, and or you could use a 5/8 inch. That's a mud. That's probably what most players are wearing today. And you got the 1/2 inch. That's for a hard surface. Then as we come down on the right side, the 5/8 steel tip. That's just what we saw. And the steel tips, and the 3/4 steel tip. Those two are usually for frozen surfaces. Now those are steel tips right there, and it's not frozen, but that's old Zorich. You know, you never know what those guys are. He wears steel tips and it's fine.
Harbaugh on 3rd down, pass caught by Davis again. 8-yard gain, enough for a 1st down.
This hasn't been the Bears' problem today. The Bears' problem hasn't been Harbaugh in the passing game. You always think of the Bears, you'd think of defense. The defense let them down a little, especially last Monday night, but on that last drive. You think of running game.
Think of the running game.
They don't have that. Neil Anderson hasn't gained anything. You think of him not passing much, but today the passing is the only thing that's kept him alive.
That and that brief spark by Lewis will replace Muster at fullback. Harbaugh to throw it. Under pressure, incomplete. Russell Maryland might have deflected it.
Watch Russell Maryland. He's here in the left-handed stance. He's right here, and we'll watch him. I think he did deflect it. He gets a push. He's working there. Then he comes off. He gets between Hilgenberg. Then he just gets in there and gets his hands up. And it was either deflected or the ball went right between his hands.
He got a piece of it.
Yeah, well, he made it wobble. Changed it from a spiral to a wobble.
Here's a guy who's really come on, too.
Now remember, he's from Chicago, so he's coming here, and this is his hometown where he played high school football. Didn't want to be a football player.
Screen pass is called to Anderson. Ken Norton. Outstanding defensive play.
Yeah, the Cowboys are doing all the right things. They're not a dominating defense. I mean, there's no player there that you have to double team or triple team, but they're just mixing them up. They're blitzing enough. They're throwing you off balance. They have good coverage. They go from man to zone. They have someone there in all places today.
Norton took on 2 blockers, beat them both, and made the play.
Yeah, that's the way a linebacker gets a drink. Did you see that? You can't put it in the front. You got to put it in from the side somehow.
3-man rush.
Through your ear.
Caught by Anderson. A gain of 9. That'll bring up a 4th down. The Bears will have to punt. Buford. His only other punt was blocked.
Right, and the fans that were all excited a little earlier are now booing this. Completing the pass and not getting the 1st down.
Kelvin Martin back deep for Dallas. Pass coming, and it's caught for a 1st down. Rivera from Buford.
Rivera was the fullback. He just came straight up the middle. You have a fullback who's a personal protector for the kicker. That was Rivera. Mike Ditka knew he had to do something. Watch Rivera. He's right up here. He's the front guy there. He just runs straight down the middle, right towards the umpire. He throws it to him, and he catches it enough for the 1st down.
Just over 10 minutes left to play. Dallas 17, the Bears 6. First down, Chicago at the Dallas 37. Harbaugh gives to Anderson. I beg your pardon, it's Lewis. A gain of 7, stopped by Ray Horton.
You know, and that's why Mike Ditka's Mike Ditka. I always says it. You know, he's a good coach. He knows how to play the game. He could see what was happening here. He could see that he had a little momentum. He had lost it, and he had to do something. The fans were starting to boo. He had to do something to change it, something to turn it around. And that something was a fake punt.
Second down. And 3. Lewis again. Bear first down. Stopped by Norton. But he gained 5.
Did you see Noonan there? I think he just stepped on his face. I think Lewis was down, and I think Noonan come and put a brogan in his face. That's just when he stands up. I think he gives him a brogan in the face. Yeah, right in the head. Put the hoof to the head. The hoof to the head. You can't do that. I don't know how the fans saw it because they started to boo. Kick him in the head, Ted. You can't do that.
Not nice. Harbaugh to throw. Wheels it outside to Neil Anderson. 4-yard pickup.
Hey, sometimes a move like that, you know, if players see it and it's at their home, that can fire them up a little too, because you talk about fire and emotion and stuff, and the time you need it is now. It's at the end of the game. It's, you know, it's the urgency of it. And I think that's what makes things get tough out there. I mean, you just watch the way guys are getting belted around and going after things. These guys are starting to throw live bullets in here.
2nd and 6. Lewis in motion. Cowboys showing blitz, and here they come. Harbaugh's pass is incomplete. Russell, Maryland again put the pressure on Harbaugh.
See, and one thing the Bears know, that they have to think in terms of 2 touchdowns. See, and the Cowboys are still relentless. They've been coming. They're not a big blitzing team, but they have been today. That's been a big change. They're really going after Harbaugh. You know, you think your whole season can be over. One team's going to go on. And that's the urgency that both these teams have to play with right now.
The winner here plays Detroit next week. 3rd and 6. Harbaugh has some time this time, and the pass is complete. Wendell Davis again. Robert Williams made the stop, but it's enough for a first down for the Bears.
Hey, and these fans know it too. They know that, you know, is this the end of the season, or is there going to be another week? And I think a lot of it's going to be determined here. Can they get the ball in the end zone? And of course, if they do that, we know they still have to get another one.
Davis has 7 catches for 80 yards. 1st and 10. 7.5 minutes left to play.
And this is where they've had their trouble.
Harbaugh chased backwards, dumps it off to Lewis. Lewis inside the 5, inside the 10, almost the 5. Jimmy Jones finally made the tackle.
And Harbaugh has to be thankful for that new rule. A year ago, that would have been in the grass. Watch Jeffcoat, number 77. He's double-teamed there. He has Harbaugh right there. The whistle would have blown a year ago. The whistle didn't blow. No in the grass rule. That let him get rid of the ball and keep the play alive.
6:58 left to play. The Cowboys leading 7. Aided the Cowboys considerably. The block punt to go with that. Those 2 miscues by Chicago led to 10 points for Dallas. They lead 17-6. 2nd and 4. Harbaugh to throw it.
Michael didn't know what to do. He was just waving like this. Then the other one said out. Then he said out too.
At the 7.
When you get down here, I always say the intensity goes up another level. And I think you start to see more helmets fly off more heads in playoffs than you do in regular season.
Look at Mike Singletary.
I'll tell you, he knows that they're going to get another chance. If they score, his defense has to get in there and stop them and get the ball back. So you do a couple of push-ups.
3rd and 4. Cowboys again show blitz. There they come. Incomplete. James Washington, the safety man.
Well, the Bears have to go for it here on 4th down. A field goal won't do them any good. Watch this. It seems like all day the Cowboys have had a free guy. There's Washington. He's a free guy. He hits Harbaugh just as he's going to throw it. But they've outnumbered him. They'll overload his side. They'll bring a blitz. You see Bates coming up the middle. Washington coming from the outside. Good coverage by Horton. This has been an excellent defensive game plan by the Cowboys.
4th and 4. This could be it. The season, the game, everything. Harbaugh trying to run is hammered to the ground by Ray Horton. And the Cowboys will take over.
I think the Cowboys can print up those T-shirts, no-name defense, and wear them with a heck of a lot of pride.
6:29 left. Cowboy.
Watch on that last play how Ray Horton right there, how he closed on Harbaugh. That is a big play. Looks like he shot out of a gun.
Emmitt Smith to about the 15. Singletary and Carrier. 8 yards for Smith.
Oh, yeah, that defense has reason to be proud, and this is a big part of the story today. The Bears were inside the 10-yard line 3 times, and they got no touchdowns. And I think, you know, that's part of the Bears, but a big part of it was an underrated Dallas Cowboy defense.
Over 100 yards again for Emmitt Smith. 22 carries for 103. Just sort of sneaks up on you.
Yeah, he's that kind of runner because when they run the ball, there's only one guy who really carries it, and that's Emmitt Smith.
There he is again. Close to a first down, stopped by McMichael and Singletary, who's back.
Well, you know, Jimmy Johnson said last night we have to win 2 out of the 3, either offense, defense, special teams. As we said earlier, I think they've won all 3 today.
They lead it 17-6.
Offensive coordinator, and I think that sometimes the assistant coaches don't get all the credit that they deserve, but I think what Wanstead did with that defense and Norv did with that offense, I think, is amazing. And I think Jimmy Johnson, we all know, has done a great job of building this Cowboy team.
And they have a lot of draft choices to go this year.
Yeah, they have 15 draft choices.
Emmitt Smith. I don't think he got the first down. Stopped by Sean Gale. A loss perhaps of a yard.
A loss of 1. 4th and 8.
If you look at this statistic here, that they're the first team since the 1958 Packers to go from 1 win to the playoffs within 3 seasons. Remember, it was just 3 years ago that they were 1-15, Jimmy Johnson's first year. Jerry Jones, the owner, come into Dallas. They fired Tom Landry. A lot of criticism and talk, and they have really built something, and they're just in the process because we look here, they have 2 first-round picks, 2 second, 2 third coming up, so they have quality now, and they are going to get more quality. I think most of that more quality will be in the defensive secondary.
Mike Saxon, who's only had to punt 1 time today. Wolford back deep for the Bears. Saxon standing right at the goal line. Special teams did a good job. Flag on the play as Harbaugh is back in the spread formation.
We're talking about the owner of the Cowboys, Jerry Jones. That's him right there. Hey, a guy come in and took over the team and bought the team, then took it over. One says, I wonder if he knows what he's doing, and some laughed and thought he didn't. He kind of proved that he did know what he was doing.
I was talking with him before the game, and he was looking around at this arena saying, you know, in all the years that I've been playing football, because he played at Arkansas, never been to Soldier Field before until today. Pass almost intercepted. Tony Hill did the juggling.
Yeah, he's made some big plays today, Tony Hill. It's interesting, we were talking last night to Tony Casillas, and it has to be confusing. The Dallas Cowboys have 3 defensive linemen named Tony. That's Tony Hill, Tony Casillas, Tony Tolbert. So when you go in a meeting and the coach says, hey, Tony, you know, everyone look right. Yeah, me.
Not me.
Well, it'd be confusing. Like you got them side by side. You say, Tony, stay outside. They both stay outside. They just did it.
Ball flat on this way.
Pass is caught by Waddle. That should get enough for a Bear first down. Stopped by Manny Hendricks. Not quite. Might be about a foot short.
The Fridge is thinking right there that we had to stop him on that drive, and we didn't stop him. We gave him life, and that could have been the season.
4:40 left to play. Anderson hit at the line of scrimmage. Struggled for a couple of yards. Got a first down. Jim Jeffcoat made the initial contact, but the Bears do get their first down. 4:20 left to play.
You see the guy's playing middle linebacker now, number 40, Bill Bates.
Yeah.
We've seen him for years throwing his body into piles.
Harbaugh's pass is caught again by Waddle. 9 yards for Waddle.
I think Waddle's had a super day today in a big game. You know, we're always looking for guys, Pat, for the All-Madden team, and I don't know that there's anyone. I mean, he ought to be the captain of it or something. I mean, that just kind of represents.
He should.
To me, what football's all about, and what achievement's all about, and what trying's all about, and what all those things are all about.
He's caught 7 passes for 89 yards. Here's the handoff to Anderson. Anderson out of bounds. Stop the clock. Out of bounds at about the 14. But a 15-yard run by Neil Anderson.
Again, the Bears are down by 11, so they're still thinking in terms of 2 touchdowns, 4 minutes to go, only 1 timeout. So what they need is a touchdown, an onside kick, get the ball, and then, of course, another touchdown.
That's not much if you say it real fast, I guess.
Well, you know, it sounds like a lot, but had they scored the last time, it sounded like a lot then, too, but it wouldn't have been much because here they are right back again.
First down at the Cowboy 15. Harbaugh slides at about the 12. Bates up to put the hit on. The clock continues to run. Bears in a hurry up. 2nd and 8.
They got their 4 wide receivers in. Neil Anderson, the only guy in the backfield. Shotgun.
Waddle at about the 4. Holt made the tackle. About a 9-yard gain. And it should be 1st and goal. Waddle's still down.
I think if the Bears don't win this game, I think Waddle's going to go to bed and take a nap for a week. Then you'll see his hit. Both knees are down when the ball comes out. Waddle's still down there. Maybe he's staying down for the review.
looks like he may be taking a nap now.
Yeah, well, you know, they've used more of that smelling salts on him today. It's a league record. Every time we've seen a shot, they've had that smelling salts they've been giving him. He's been trying to clear the cobwebs out. I mean, there's a lot of different tough guys. There's linebacker tough, and there's lineman tough, and there's big guy tough, and there's wide receiver tough, and this is it.
He doesn't look like he should be play this game. He's been to the locker room to be x-rayed.
Yeah, he's been walked all day. They walked him on the field, off the field. They walked him to the locker room.
Harbaugh down at about the 6 by Leon Lett and Russell, Maryland again. A loss of 3.
He's getting a big push, but let's see if there's anyone open. You know, a lot of times, look at the protection, and you look at him, see, he's trying to throw out here to the left, and they're double covered there. If he threw to the left, that ball would have been intercepted. So that was good coverage.
Waddle is back in the game, split wide right. And he gets the touchdown. From Harbaugh.
That guy's a football player with a headache.
Catches, 104 yards for Waddle, and the only Bear touchdown. Butler for the extra point, which is good. 17-13 with 2:42 left to play and one timeout.
Yeah, that's the key, I think, Pat, is the one timeout. If the Bears had all 3 timeouts and a good deep kicker, I think they could kick deep. But with only 1 timeout, I think they probably have to go for an onside kick. Let's watch the touchdown. Shotgun, overload, 3 wide receivers out to the right. Waddle's the second guy. He comes in. They cover the first guy going across. The other guy goes out. Waddle has the inside all to himself. What a warrior he has been today.
Today's game was produced by Robert D. Stinner, directed by Sandy Grossman. The NFL Today was produced by Eric Mann and directed by Duke Struck. The senior producer of the NFL on CBS is Ed Gorin, and the executive producer is Ted Shaker. They are still adding to the record.
I think after the Immaculate Reception, I think it was 10 for Madden. Madden never played like Waddle did, I'll tell you that. This is a big play here, this onside kick. Now, you know that there's going to be an onside kick. The Cowboys are in what we call an onside kick prevent, or their hands team. So the Bears are going to get some kind of overload and then kick to an overload. They'll probably line up like this and then shift. There goes the shift.
Don't forget Gardaki's left-footed, so that's why they're going that way. And he kicks away. Kicks it out of bounds.
I don't know what that was.
I don't either.
I mean, it wasn't a deep kick, and it wasn't a short kick. And his special teams coach, Steve Kaiser, is going crazy at Gardaki. Look at him.
He placed at the 35-yard line.
He has an explanation to do there. Now Ditka's on Steve. Oh, boy. That's a definition of mass confusion.
They're both after Gardaki.
Well, was it supposed to be an onside kick or a normal kick? It was kind of a tweener.
2:38 left to play.
Defense has to think a turnover here.
The Bears have only one timeout remaining. It's Emmitt Smith. Smith knocked down by Singletary after a 3-yard gain.
Well, see, the Bears have one timeout that they take right now, but remember, they're going to get another one at the 2-minute warning. So they have 2. Then if they can stop them, they'll get a 3rd with a change of possession, which is an automatic timeout.
There's Waddle still trying to collect things. This game is presented by authority of the National Football League, and this telecast is intended for the private use of our audience. Any rebroadcast or other use of this telecast without the express written consent of CBS, the Chicago Bears, and the National Football League is prohibited.
Hey, what those Cowboys are thinking now, first thing, no turnovers. Second thing, let's get a first down. The Bears are thinking, 1, let's get the ball out of there. Let's force a turnover. And 2, let's stop them so we can get the ball back.
2nd and 6. The ball at about the 37. Burline's going to throw it. It does. To his fullback, Darrell Johnston, and he's out of bounds very near to a first down.
See, now the Cowboys will either get a first down or be in great shape to get a first down. Well, you talk about a gutsy call by Jimmy Johnson. That was. But then you have to give credit to Steve Burline for executing it. Here's a guy who didn't come to the Cowboys till the regular season started. But thank goodness he didn't play early because he didn't know the plays. Troy Aikman was injured. Burline came in against the Redskins. They've won 5 straight.
3rd and short. The give is to Smith, and he won't get it. They'll have to punt. A loss of a yard. That's twice that happened.
That's good Bear defense. The Bears have no timeout. The Cowboys can let the clock run down, but just to 2 minutes.
The officials have stopped the clock now at 2:10.
They probably stopped it for a measurement. Then there'll be a 2-minute stoppage for the 2-minute warning. Then there'll be another stoppage and change of possession. Good defense. You see McMichael come across there. McMichael come across where he couldn't get that extra play.
Now they've started the clock and we'll get the 2-minute warning. It's Jim Harbaugh loosening up on the sideline. Dallas leading 17-13, 2 minutes to play.
There, Jimmy Johnson told us last night that somewhere in the game he's going to have a trick in the kicking game. I don't think it would be here.
No, I don't. I agree with you. Wolford is back deep for the Bears. Saxon's kick is not very good, but it'll take a Cowboy roll, and they're going to have a long way to go. Downed it at the 52-yard punt.
Well, of course, the clock is stopped now. Change of possession stops the clock, but that's the last time that the Bears will be able to stop it because they used all 3 of their timeouts. They've used the 2-minute warning, and they've used the change of possession. So they have to go the length of the field in 1:50. That is possible to do.
They'll have to go 96 yards to do it. It's been done before. Remember the famous drive by Denver against Cleveland?
John Elway?
Yep.
They still call that the drive.
The drive. In
both Denver and Cleveland.
Harbaugh from the end zone. Incomplete. Intended for Waddle, covered by Hope. A minute 45 left now.
The other thing with these playoffs is the finality. You get all the teams in the playoffs, and only one is going to win their last game. The other team has to lose, has to live with that loss.
Second and 10, it's Anderson. And he gets out of bounds at about the 10 with Robert Williams in pursuit. 7-yard gain.
And I think when the Bears are down here now, the thing they have to think is get a couple first downs, then try and get the ball towards midfield, and then take your shots for the end zone. You can't take them from back here.
3rd and 3. Ball is at the 11-yard line. Harbaugh to throw it. Chased out of their pocket. Ball's loose. Dallas ball, they were on it. Let's see if they were down. If he was down.
Looks like Bill Bates, number 40, has it. Bill Bates has it. How did he get it?
The ball was out. We got the ball. The ball was out. There was no whistle. There was no whistle. Way out. There was no. We got the ball.
This is a huddle of the officials to decide whether the whistle blew before the ball came out.
Down by contact, they're going to say.
They were just looking for some official to say something.
The player is ruled down by contact. No fumble. First down.
Harbaugh got the first down. Jimmy Johnson can't believe it.
Well, down by contact has nothing to do with the fumble unless he fumbled after he was down by contact. I mean, down by contact has to do with spotting the ball. It has nothing to do with fumble. I guess they have to say that the whistle blew before the ball came out.
It's a first down with 1:14 left. Dallas leading 17-13. Harbaugh. Pass is picked off by Bates.
There's the guy every year. They're going to get rid of Bill Bates. Can he make it? Can he play anymore? In the right place, he knows how to play this game.
The 3rd turnover by the Bears. Russell Maryland put the heat on Harbaugh. Bates got the interception.
That's the end of the Bears season.
No turnovers for Dallas. There's the pressure by Maryland.
And I'll tell you, those two guys have done a heck of a job, those defensive linemen. Russell Maryland putting a lot of pressure on today, and Jim Jeffcoat. And, of course, Bill Bates, one of the great guys in this game. It's always nice to see him come up with a big play.
And the Bears can't stop it.
He truly appreciates it. Again, Bill Bates was a middle linebacker in the nickel defense. He's just playing zone, reading Harbaugh's eyes, sees the ball thrown, and goes right to it. But he was the guy that the play before had recovered the fumble.
Right.
He was the guy that for years was always one of the slowest guys in the secondary, but always the first guy down on kicks.
That'll be the last play for the Bears. The Cowboys will go to Detroit. We'll be chatting with some of these Cowboy players, Leslie Visser and Pat O'Brien, after the game is over. Mike Ditka and Bill Bates.
Of course, Mike Ditka played for the Bears, played for the Dallas Cowboys, coached for the Cowboys, and coached for the Bears. So these are his two teams. This is his life.
Mike Ditka, a disappointing year, got off to such a great start, but things started to unravel when Anderson got hurt and Muster got hurt. And they just couldn't run the ball. They just couldn't play Mike Ditka football.
No, they couldn't. And And today they just couldn't get going, and when they did get in there, they couldn't get the score in. And these Cowboys played awfully well in all areas.
And so once again, the final score from Soldier Field is Dallas 17, the Bears 13. Stay tuned for the NFL Today postgame show. Greg and Terry will have a complete wrap-up of today's game, including interviews with the Cowboys and Bears. Herb Cross will have a report from Houston on today's AFC wildcard game between the Jets and Oilers, and a live interview with the Lions coach Wayne Fontes. You're watching CBS Sports coverage of the National Football League. Dallas.
Play better.
Last question real quick, John. The condition of your shoulder in just a few seconds. How is it?
Well, it's about the same. I'm going to have some work done after the season, and so I just don't do a whole lot of throwing during the week, and then just try to stay loose between series on Sunday.
All right, we're off to Buffalo now, actually Orchard Park, into the home of Jim Kelly. If the Jets win today, the Jets are headed for Buffalo. They played them twice this year, and actually both games were close, but Buffalo won both times. If the Oilers win, then it's Kansas City at Buffalo. And let's start with that, Jim, because everybody knows on that Monday night early in the season, these guys walloped you, and they're looking for another chance.
Yeah, they sure did. That's one thing when you look at the Kansas City Chiefs. They did handle us pretty good, but we'd like another shot at them. But we have nothing to do with the outcome of today's game with the Jets. The Jets playing at Houston. Houston's tough at home, so we shall see what happens.
What about the condition of one of your big receivers, the veteran James Lofton?
He's definitely made a big impact on our team. I think he's taken a lot of pressure off of Andre Reed and the other wide receivers. Plus, when you got a big play guy like him that can go deep and come up with a big play, that's what counts. And as long as we get in the end zone, then we count on our defense to shut them down.
Jim, this get-together here was regrettably brief, but I know we'll be talking to you throughout the playoffs. Merry Christmas to you.
Merry Christmas to you. Have a good New Year.
Okay, we'll be seeing you soon. A big story that grew out of yesterday's Raiders-Chiefs game in Kansas City is the condition of the Chiefs' young linebacker, Derek Thomas. Thomas was removed in the second quarter with what was described as an accelerated heartbeat. He spent the night at St. Luke's Hospital in Kansas City. Less than an hour ago, Thomas was released from the hospital. He didn't talk about his condition, but he did talk about the Chiefs' next opponent.
You know, hopefully we had an opportunity to go play Buffalo, but if not, and we have to go to Denver, that's fine too.
All right, I don't know if that was a prescription or his bill from the hospital he was holding in his hand.
Bob, let me tell you, I talked to their owner, Lamar Hunt, about an hour before that was taken, and he told me he talked to the Chiefs general manager, Carl Peterson, early today. Carl told him that the doctors have said Thomas will be able to play next week, wherever they play. Secondly, they still aren't sure what happened to Thomas, even throughout these tests that were taken today. They think it might have been caused by an antihistamine he was taken because he was ill, but again, they took the test, they still don't know.
Okay, once again, the Cowboys have beaten the Bears 17-13. It's the Cowboys against Detroit, Atlanta against Washington in the next round of the NFC. We'll give you details on the Chicago-Dallas game a bit later in the show. Up next, OJ takes a look at the men with the loneliest job on a football team, the place kickers. In this case, Al Del Greco and Raul.
We were 4-12. As is always, is if you don't win, then they make a change.
It's a sad Christmas for me because, you know, I really love Sam.
After 39 years in it, I have to step back and see what the flowers smell like for a little bit.
I'm very proud to have been the coach at Tampa Bay.
No press conference for Chuck Knox in Seattle. He steps aside very quietly, just issuing a statement, but he won't be gone long. He's going to resurface somewhere. That's at least a pretty good guess. The question is, will where?
Well, I think he's going to resurface because he told me this week he wants to coach. I think he has 3 shots. I think the leading one is with the Rams. He also has Indianapolis, and he also has Green Bay. And I think his opening in Seattle will be filled by Tom Flores, who will be both the general manager and the head coach.
Who succeeds Chuck Noll in Pittsburgh?
Well, they have a list right now, Bob. They're building one, rather. There's only 2 guys on what they call their B list, which are Joe Green from the coaching staff and Dick Hoke, both Steeler assistants. Nobody's on A. It's going to take them about 3 weeks. Danny Rooney told me to get about 5 or 6 candidates and then try to find a guy, probably with pro background.
Now, Indianapolis hasn't fired Rick Venturi, but he's not really an incumbent either. He's simply on the list of possibilities.
That's right. They're out interviewing guys. I think George Perillis from Michigan State was in there last Friday. I know that Mike Holmgren of the 49ers, the offensive coordinator, has an appointment in the next few weeks. So it's going to take some time, and, you know, they're going to sit down at the end and try to get some guy that can work with him, the Irsay family, Jimmy and his father, Bob.
Okay, the Vikings.
Well, the Vikings are the unknown factor here right now. They wanted Bobby Ross. you know, out of Georgia Tech to come up there and coach. By the time they went to him, I think he was already gone to San Diego. I firmly believe that Bobby Ross will be announced in San Diego sometime this week.
So where does that leave the Vikings?
Well, I think the Vikings will go down to the wire on the Super Bowl, look around. You know, you might have to look at a guy like Dennis Erickson from the University of Miami. Look at the coaching staffs in the Super Bowl. Is there somebody there? I think they get a late start compared to everybody else.
So the bottom line in San Diego is there's really no search going on, that Ross will simply be announced.
That's what I believe, probably Wednesday or Thursday this week.
All right, Bill Parcells jolted Hugh Culverhouse. Once Culverhouse gets back on his feet, figuratively, what does he do?
Well, I think he has to make an impact, Bob. Let's face it, a year ago he tried to get Bill Walsh to go down there, made him a big offer, big name. He has to try to fill seats. If I were him, I'd go to Buddy Ryan. You know, the guy is a proven winner. He might have some problems with the owners, but he's a great judge of talent. He proved that in Philadelphia, and he could make an impact, and he could generate excitement in Tampa Bay.
Green Bay.
Green Bay, you know, Bill Parcells is in there. Chuck Knox is also in there, and Holmgren. 3 teams have asked permission to talk to Holmgren, okay? The Rams, Indianapolis, and in Green Bay. I don't think they'll give it to the Rams because they're in their own division, but I think he'll get interviewed in the other places.
When you say Parcells is in there, if he wants it, it's his, right?
No, I don't think so. I think that, you know, they're going to interview the 3 guys. He's certainly, like I've said all along, the leading candidate up there, and I think Ron Wolf has a tough decision to make in the next week or 10 days.
All right, a possible personnel move we've heard about involving the 49ers. Might they trade a Steve Young, a Charles Haley?
I think they're both going to be traded, from what I understand. See, they're trying to build up draft choices with the 49ers. Now, they're trying to do over their team. What's the best way to get them? Guys you can afford to let go. Steve Young is certainly one after the way Bono finished the season. Haley gave him a problem during the year, so I think around draft time, both of those players will be out in the market.
Does it matter, with this deal possibly pending, whether they've inked Bill Walsh, whether they've got him back or not, because it's a major move?
Well, listen, they can't do anything in the National Football League until next April 1st. You can't make any real trades from now until then, right? So if Bill Walsh is going to go back, I think he'll be back there before April 1st, and if he wants to change it, he can. But that decision's yet to be made.
Okay, thanks, Will. Time to step aside. We're back to wrap things up on this edition of NFL Live.
And the Houston Oilers. Hi, everybody. I'm Marv Albert along with Paul McGuire. And for Houston, this is a season of high expectations. At one point, they were 7-1. They took the AFC Central Division title for the very first time, but in a flat performance last week against the Giants, with the loss, they blew the bye week. And you know that the Oilers are involved in a game they did not want to play. How will this affect them?
I don't think we're going to see it until the first 2 series of downs, but there is some other problems here in Houston. There are a lot of guys with small contracts but large personal incentive bonuses that they didn't get. Now the question is, are they going to carry that into this playoff game? We'll have to wait and find out.
On the other hand, the Jets certainly delighted to be here, and they were sparked last week against Miami by a couple of veterans, 32-year-old Freeman McNeil, 31-year-old Johnny Hector, and they will both play a prominent role here today. Blair Thomas, who has been disappointing, is a scratch. He is inactive because of a sprained ankle.
Well, Bruce Costa is going with experience, and you know, the last game, the Jets 43 yards on the ground. Bruce Costa told us if they're going to win this football game, they're going to have to gain at least 100 yards on the ground.
And the Oilers won the toss, and they will receive. Alan Pinkett and Pat Coleman are the deep men. And he will stay right there. Alan Pinkett fielding it in the end zone, and a look at the Houston offense. Don Maggs, Mike Munchak, Bruce Matthews, Doug Dawson, and David Williams on the front line. Dawson was a question mark because of a knee. Lorenzo White, who had a good second half against the Giants, in the starting lineup instead of Alan Pinkett. And the Fab Four with Jeffries, Hill, Gibbons, and Duncan. So the Oilers start out from the 20. Caught by White. Nice one-handed grab, but it's back behind the line. Larry Young made the stop. The front 4 for the Jets: Washington, Mercer, Bird, and Loggeman. They have played extremely well. and what the Jets refer to as the Hawk defense. They go with the 2 extra defensive backs. The only linebacker is Kyle Clifton. So Tony Stargell and Eric McMillan join as the nickel and dime defensive backs. It's a second down and 13 back at the 17. Moon with the time has Duncan. And he's run out at the 24 by Ronnie Young.
You know what's amazing about this Houston Oilers team, Marvin? Every time we do it, they start out the game in the hole. Now, they started the ball on the 20. They try to run a slip screen to the outside to White, Lorenzo White. Lonnie Young makes a play for a 3-yard loss. Now they're looking at a situation, 3rd down and 6. I can't remember them getting a first down in their first series of the games that we've done, and I think we've done 6 of them.
We were talking about this with the offensive coordinator for the Houston Oilers, Kevin Gilbride, and he's puzzled by the fact that the run and shoot has not gotten off to a good start at all this season. Moon able to complete, but short of the first down. Gibbons right at the marker, and let's see. Well, they are spotting it and giving him the first down at the 30.
You talk about the forward progress, and that's what they look at. Now, here comes Gibbons. Now, watch. He's got to get to the 30. Right there, he's beyond the 30. You can see that he is beyond it. It is a good mark, the right mark. But Moon stood back in the pocket, had some heat from Lageman coming up, but they got the ball off, got the first down.
It is a first down at the 30. 85 Hill in motion. We're just underway at the Astrodome. And it's a sideline completion to Drew Hill. Lonnie Young on the coverage.
When you look at Lageman now, he is an excellent football player, but look at the double team that they put on him. They put Maggs on him and Machak on him. He takes up 2 people. What happens there is when the Jets read this defensively, you got to believe that they're going to start sending a linebacker or a safety to get into Moon's face.
And Moon has opened up at 4 of 4. And they have thrown on every down. It's a second down and 4 at the 36. Lorenzo White, the ball carrier last week against the Giants, had that strong second half, 82 yards on 10 carries. And it will be a 3rd down and 1 at the 39.
And Lorenzo White, the yardage he just picked up on that play, which was about 4, he did that basically on his own because he was hit in the backfield.
And as Lorenzo was telling us yesterday, he's not a happy guy, has not been pleased about his lack of playing time. A holdout, came in late, lost his starting job to Pinkett. He said he was upset about his contract because he was the starter, and as he put it, his backup was making more than him. Stacked up, trying to slash across for the first down. Jeff Lageman looking to keep away, and let's see where they spot it here.
You know, it just looks like that if he misses this, it'll be by the nose of the ball and not much more. And the question is, do you go for it?